here we are for the final 10 of the top 30 horror films, in my opinion. Again, entertaining, good, memorable scenes. Everything's an opinion, so what makes it on my list might not make it on yours, might not make it on another's, be completely different. Oh, how come you didn't have this one? Well, I didn't see that one because there's a lot of films out there. Anyways, number 10, Aliens. Number 11 was Alien. So, number 10, Aliens. Just gotta say that Alien is great, and without Alien, there's no Aliens, but Aliens is that 0.00000000001% better, and so makes it here. In space, no one can hear you scream, and you can't run away. You can't go off into the woods and hope to escape. You can't fly down a car. Just you and the aliens until you die. Unless you're Ripley, because Ripley's a badass. Next. The Ring. Original horror films made overseas tend to get remade. The Ring is one of them. The original plays more towards a Japanese style horror than American, but it too is worth a watch if you can find a copy with subtitles. It's just, obviously, different cultures have what they find scary to be different. Just like when the difference between American folklore and Asian folklore, Japanese style. Like Japanese folklore is, here's how you escape. You got to use wits. You got to outsmart whatever it's coming after you. While American folklore is more of, oh, you better learn your lesson or this is going to happen to you too. Same thing with horror films. Oh, speaking of another foreign film, one that I truly love watching is Let Me In, based off of the Let the Right One In. It's a nice good twist on the vampire tale we've all heard countless times. Here we go with a young girl who is immortal. How she goes about life this time in the 1980s, having a sort of partner. A partner that ages, well, she does not. When she moves to a new apartment in town, well, she meets a new boy and watch to find out. Good fucking movie. The Let the Right One In from Finland, whatever, is Sweden, something like that, is really fucked up too. But obviously you're going to need subtitles and all that. Which, movie's worth it. Next, as you can see, Friday the 13th. The first true slasher film I ever saw. I hadn't watched Halloween or whatever. Like, this was the first slasher film I ever saw. The whole series is amazing. Because, like, throughout the series, they kind of come up with new ways for him to come back. New ways to kill him off. New characters come in. And the deaths. Unlike Michael Myers, not just knife, 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 knife. Oh, watch, guys. Knife, knife, knife. Oh, they come out with the, like, taking the rebar and down the throat, stabbing the back with a bear hug, crushing the skull, punching the head off. Like, they come out with all different kinds of ways for him to kill people. But if you don't want to watch the older ones, they had the remake or reboot, whatever you want to call it, and it too was amazing. They had 2 movies in the first 10 minutes. They got Jason's mother being killed, which is movie number 1, and then the group gets killed by Jason, and then the movie starts. Is it the scariest, best acted, best script out of horror films? No. But entertaining is all get out. I mean, this is just... God damn. And then, what was it? Don't Go Into the Woods on YouTube. Fan-made. Don't Go Into the Woods. Also worth watching. It's just, again, it's not the best acted, it's not the best script, it's not most scary, whatever, but it is still a damn good film. Terror series is great. If you like horror films, you like slashers, this is the one to watch. Next, Psycho. Going way, way older. The first of the other Hitchcock films to make on this list. This movie has not only been parodied, but actually been redone scene for scene. Ryan Reynolds did it, and instead of something new or adding stuff, whatever, like, nope, they made it scene for scene. In a world of reboots and sequels, this was an ingenious way of doing it for modern audiences. But, especially unlike The Birds, like The Birds, obviously, The Birds is a classic, this is a classic, The Window was a classic. May not have been called The Window, it may have been like The Man in the Window, something like that, but like these are all classics. but for me, Psycho was the best. Next, American Psycho. A movie that, when it's on, I will watch every single time. This, Jurassic Park, Independence Day, a few others. They're movies like, oh man, I'm bored. Oh, that's on? Watch. I know I've watched it a million times already, but I have to watch. Some scenes have been memed to death, like that card scene. You've probably seen it with Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, different stuff like that, but that card scene has been memed to death. Other spots have been memed to death. Or repeated in parody form countless times. It's just done over and over again. There's a reason. This movie is that good. This movie is that memorable. And the fact that, in the movie anyways, that did it really happen is never explained. Spoiler! In the book it is explained that it did happen. The apartment he did all the murders in, the building owners had it cleaned up to be able to sell it, keep rent sky high. Obviously, oh yeah, 37 people were butchered to death in this apartment. We want $18,000 a month. You're not getting $18,000 a month for that room or any other apartment in that building. So yeah, they covered it up. Then they like to show that all these men in suits are one and the same and no one can tell the difference between one another. That, what do you mean he said? No, I just talked to him the other day. It's like, no you didn't. I fucking murdered him. I personally killed him. But these people are all the same. There's just all white men in suits that no one knows the difference. No one can tell the difference. God damn, that's a fucked up looking face. This is such a great fucking movie. There's a sequel with Mia Kunis in it. It was okay. Not as good as this one. Next. Another movie that, guess what? When it's on, I'm watching it. Few horror movies have the acting power like this one. For the most part, horror, psychological thrillers get shunned by the bigger names. It's like, well, it was before Ron Reynolds was as big as he was. Or before, what the hell was his name? Christopher, not Nolan. You know what I mean. The guy from American Psycho, like before he was as big as he is today. Like Johnny Depp was in a Nightmare movie before he was big. Like you get these people that are in the movies before they're big. Once they get big, yeah, they don't do these. Unlike with this one. This one had freaking Anthony Hopkins. And again, Anthony Hopkins was and still is a big name. Just, I get it that horror is seen as like a simple style movie. But psychological thriller style horror will still get some bigger names like this one does. One of the biggest. Oh, speaking of a big name. Da-da-da, wait for it. Ta-da! The Shining. Only the Jack Nicholson version. Another version was made, more true to the book, and meh. Jack made this movie into the terrifying classic that it is today. Do not watch the other version. Only reason to watch the other version is to watch like this one first, then the other one and go, wow, Jack Nicholson made this movie. Great movie. Next, number 2. We're almost to number 1, but here it is, number 2. Creature from the Black Lagoon. This is a movie that I watched when I was a kid that messed me up. I haven't seen it in years, and I'm sure if I watch it now, it wouldn't be that big a deal, but if I don't see it for a few more years, I'll be happy with that, because this movie messed me up. This is one of the movies that gave me nightmares. Again, watched it when I was a kid. Probably shouldn't have, but the guy wearing the suit, this wasn't CGI. This wasn't computer animated. This wasn't whatever, special effects. This was a guy in a suit in the water. So instead of like, what was it, Men in Black, where Will Smith has to act with the alien, this tennis ball hanging from a string, that's the big scary alien. Like, no, these people were reacting to him. To the Creature from the Black Lagoon. There's a bunch of sequels that aren't as good. But this one, this one's a good one. It's an older one. It's a classic. If you haven't watched it, find it, watch it. Now, here we are. Drum roll, please. Number 1, Wizard of Oz. Dark Side of the Moon version. It has to be the Dark Side of the Moon version. I can't really watch this film anymore because of that. Sure, a movie about 2 women trying to murder each other over a pair of shoes should probably be a horror film in itself. Like, come on, it's 2 women trying to kill each other over a pair of shoes. It's got cyborgs, mutant monkeys, lions, witches. Yeah, it's considered a children's movie. But when you add Dark Side of the Moon album to it, it changes the whole movie to be truly terrifying. You should be able to find it on YouTube still. I'll try and find a link to it if I can find it on YouTube still. But if not, look for it. Google it. Try to find it. I don't know what it is. It is just like how well it matched up. It's not just that, oh, the album and the movie were the same length. It's that the music matched up with the movie so well. That is, again, nightmare-inducing. See, I know this is going to be a, what the f are you talking about? But, yeah. This movie, for me, and it is the most entertaining. Ask anyone. Let's watch this movie. Everyone loves it. You might be able to find one oddball here and there that says, I didn't like that movie. But 99.999% of the people who watched it loved it. But they haven't seen the Dark Side of the Moon version. If you watch the Dark Side of the Moon version, you will see this movie in a whole new light. Anyways, what do you guys think? As always, like, subscribe, comment down below, and have a wonderful day.